Hey, what's up, guys? Heading to school. I don't have class today. I'm just about to do some homework. It's cold and rainy down here in Atlanta. But the purpose of my video today was to talk about going into the Navy at an older age. Prime groups of people who go into the Navy are around like straight out of high school or a couple of years after high school because they went to college and then they didn't do too good, so they ended up going into the service. So it'd be those type of people usually, the bigger bunch of the lower ranking people. Now, then you have a group of people who didn't make some of the best mistakes in life. I mean, made a lot of bad choices, made a lot of mistakes, including myself, or didn't take advantage of opportunities, and they get into the Navy at a later age. So probably around their mid-20s. I've seen guys in there who are about 30 years old who was just getting into the Navy. I seen the oldest I've seen was probably 32. Was somebody that was getting in the Navy, and I was like, bro, what was you doing for damn near 14 years? You know? So, but yeah, I got in. I signed up for the Navy at 23. I didn't get in until I was 24. It was a year wait because at that time they was kicking a lot of people out of the Navy to make more room for new people. This is when they was downsizing the Navy. Now they're upgrading the Navy. So when I got in, did boot camp and everything, I noticed a lot of immature behavior. A lot of kids, a lot of people couldn't think for themselves. They couldn't understand what was being told. They didn't comprehend the bigger meaning of things about what boot camp was about. So that was something that was kind of annoying to me, but I learned how to deal with it. And also, you learn how to work through things. You don't cry and complain. You try to work through it. You just try to figure out, all right, this is not working. I need to figure out something else. Or these people keep failing. We need to take these people to the side and work on them. As the younger guys, they would just yell at them, get irritated, and things of that nature. You know, so that's something you'll have to deal with in boot camp, is that you'll have to deal with the annoyance of meeting fresh out of high school kids. You know what I'm saying? Their minds are not developed. They haven't lived on their own. You know what I mean? They've been getting taken care of by their parents, so they're not used to thinking independently. As when you go in probably at a 23, I'll say 25 and older crowd who gets in the Navy, they probably have experienced those things and know how to cope with things when they're put in bad predicaments where they're not the type to complain, but they're the type to figure out a solution. So fast forward, I went to the fleet. You know, I still had to deal with some of the same things. You know, you still got to deal with people. Now in the fleet is different because now you might be older than all the people in your pay grade, but now you have people who are pay grades above you who are younger than you. So that's a new thing you're going to have to deal with. So a lot of people don't know how to deal with that at first because, including myself, I didn't understand. I was like, bro, you don't know. I'm looking at these guys that was in charge of me and they're younger than me, and I'm like, bro, you don't know nothing about life. Like, I lived on my own. I lived in New York City on my own. I lived in San Diego with my brother on my own. You know, I paid my own bills and things like that. You didn't have that until you got in the Navy. That's how I was thinking. Which you shouldn't think like that, you know, because these people going before you, they chose the right career or they did something more substantial career-wise than you before you. You shouldn't be mad at them and taking it out on them. So I know a lot of older guys, they're probably thinking about getting the Navy. I got a friend right now who he can't figure out his life for shit. So this motherfucker is like, I told him to go into the Army. You know, because I was like, the contracts in the Army are cheaper just in case you don't, I mean, not cheaper, but shorter. In case you don't like it, you can get out quicker, but you'll still get all your benefits. You know what I mean? It'll help you, man, and go full-time, full active, you know. And my thing is, if you're going to go into the service, at least for your first contract, go full service. Don't half-ass it. Don't fucking go to the reserves. Go to the reserves after you do at least a first contract, so you can get the full experience of what the military is. You know, you can travel a little bit, meet some people. In the reserves, you can't really do that. It's like taking online college classes. Like, you're not getting a full experience of college if you're just doing all your classes online, you know. So I'll put it like that. And for all the older guys that's trying to get into the military, like, I understand why you guys are doing it. Why, you know, you probably didn't figure out your life fast enough as most other people do. You know what I mean? Just go into the military, figure out what you need to do, learn from the experience, because it's gonna make you a better person. It's gonna make you mature, because you're gonna have a step ahead of a lot of the young kids that come in trying to make a career out of this. You can surpass them based on that you had real life experience and they don't, you know. So, and another thing is that, you know, don't feel discouraged having, like, say you're 30 getting in the Navy, or 27 or 28 getting in any branch, and you have a guy that's 21 telling you what to do, yelling at you like you're a kid. You know, it's just how the military, that's just how the military goes. And, you know, you got to follow by those rules. So to all the older people that's trying to get into the military, you know what I mean, just take a step back, know what you're getting into. Don't take things personal. You know what I mean? Just stay level-headed. Don't dumb yourself down if you're like 27, 28, or whatever, 25 getting in the Navy. Don't dumb yourself down to somebody who's 18 and don't know anything about life or haven't experienced anything. That's in case if you experience anything. Because you could be 25, 26 and been doing the same shit you was doing after you got out of high school, just working at some fucking hot dogs, some corn dogs stand at the fucking mall every day waiting on a new game to drop at GameStop. You know what I mean? You could be doing some dumb shit like that. But if you haven't, you did some real life experience, things didn't go off the way you planned it to do, so you're thinking about joining the military just to have a more stable life, to get your shit together, don't take things personal. I had a chief in the Navy. I was a third class. I had a chief who was damn near 2 years older than me. He was damn near, a chief was an E7. I was an E2. I was an E3 when he made chief. You know what I'm saying? And he was 2 years older than me. So don't take things personal, and, you know, but just let these people know they do treat you different if they know that you're a little bit older in the service and you just got in late. They won't look at you negative, or they won't look at you like a typical airman, because they'll be like, all right, this guy is probably a little bit more experienced and knowledgeable in certain things, so I can trust him a little more with some certain type of responsibilities at that pay grade. You see what I'm saying? That's what advantage I had when I was in the service. So that's just something you can take on with yourself as well. But don't be discouraged. If you're older guys, need to get in the military, get your life together, do it. You know what I mean? It's gonna be the greatest experience in the world, because you're gonna learn a lot of discipline that you probably didn't have before. You're gonna experience new things. You're gonna meet new people. You're gonna have that veteran. If you get out, you know, you're gonna have that veteran stamp on your back, which is like, you know what I mean? It's a medal of honor, pretty much, man. Because like, people really respect that you're a veteran, that you serve this country. You know, you put your life on the line for what we have here, and people really respect that. And it looks real good on the job market. You're gonna have your GI Bill to get out to go to school. Like, I'm a little older going to school right now. I'm going to Georgia State University, you know, but I got everything paid for. Plus I got BAH, which is my housing allowance. And, you know, I'm just living the dream right now. I'm really relaxing, really focused on school. I'm not working right now because I'm trying to really focus on school. And once I get that down packed, then I'll start going into the work field. I don't want to overstress myself right now, because I did a lot of stress for the last 5 years while I was in the Navy. So I really just want to relax, unwind, regroup myself to becoming a civilian. Like my last video I posted about coming out of the Navy, and it's hard to civilian at first. I know a lot of people who has failed with that. I shouldn't say failed, but have problems with that. And some people who transferred over easily. You know what I mean? So just make sure you don't get discouraged. Just go in. If you have any questions about being older, I don't know if I hit everything that needed to be said, you know, because I'm really just going off the top of my head. It was just something I was thinking about. If you guys have any questions, just let me know. Just inbox me, leave a comment down below. I can get right back to you. You know, I got a lot of experience in the Navy. Did 5 years, 2013 to 2018. Done 2 deployments. 2014 with the USS George H.W. Bush for 9 months, and I just recently did one last year, 2017, on the same ship for 7 months. So, and tons of underway. So, if you got any questions about what to expect in the Navy or your job rates and things like that, I can give you a heads up. I'm mostly familiar with Air Department jobs because that's what I was at ABF. So if anybody have any questions about that, you know, any surface rate jobs, I know a little bit about it because I was dual pen, so I know a little bit about surface rates as well. But if anybody had any questions, want to comment down below, I can answer your comments. Any Navy veterans out there, let's get a chat going on. Let's get a little message board. Tell some safe stories, you know what I mean? Tell some experience. Help these new Navy people that's getting in, you know, and connect with other veterans around the world, you know, or locally, wherever you're at. Let's get that type of dialogue going. Anyway, that's me. Out.